You cannot possibly forget the loved one. Taken from recognition of me is liberation by his divine presence, Avatar Adidar Samraj. Traditionally, when an individual is recognized to be a spiritual master, the first thing that is done is that he or she is set apart or provided with the right circumstance and thereafter perpetually served. Such setting apart of a spiritual realizer is done by those who would be that one's devotees, because without such setting apart, a realizer cannot function as a master and will most likely simply remain unknown. Why have devotees always set apart the realizers they discovered, approaching them thereafter as their masters? The reason that the setting apart of a realizer is necessary is that realization is a spiritual state in which even the body-mind complex of the realizer is transformed to an extraordinary degree, and such a transformed body-mind complex cannot exist under ordinary conditions. Thus, a true realizer is not simply one who utters a teaching. Rather, a true realizer is the incarnation of that which he or she has realized. If you were walking down a beach, you might find all kinds of fragments of shells and bits of this and that have washed up from the sea. However, if you found a diamond the size of a football, you would know you had found a unique treasure. You would not treat such a discovery like a broken bit of shell. To find a true realizer, not just a talker, but one who has been even bodily transformed by the spiritual divine, is to discover such a unique treasure. There are degrees of demonstration of divine self-realization in the modes of the fourth and fifth and sixth stages of life, and now in my divine avataric case in the ultimate mode of the seventh stage of life. Nevertheless, all degrees of real God realization are about the same fundamental matter, the same reality. True devotees worship their spiritual masters with their lives, because true devotees have discovered that the spiritual master is the incarnation or the very person of the state they would realize, the state that they understand to be the ultimate purpose of life itself. My true devotee devotionally recognizes me to the point of being constantly turned to me with every principal faculties. If you are truly heart attracted to me rather than simply associating with me in an egoic manner, you go beyond the separate self in your turning to me. If you are not truly heart attracted to me, and thus do not truly recognize me, you simply play off me as the ego's other, either a social other or an organizational other, or a merely ceremonial other. None of that is true devotion to me. The devotional relationship to me is attraction to my avatarically self-manifested divine person and my divinely self-bright state. When you are truly heart attracted to me, the self-evidence of my avatarically self-revealed divine state is tacitly known by you in the instant of sighting my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form. Thus, those who devotionally recognize me are whole-bodily turned to me, simply because they are heart attracted to me. Those who devotionally recognize me are not coming to me merely to get something for themselves. Those who devotionally recognize me are only turned to me. My thus true devotees always serve me. They always radiate, relate to me through gifts alone, gifts only, and they always live in accordance with my divine avataric word of instruction. Thus and so, my true devotees live the devotional relationship to me in an entirely lawful manner. As Narcissus, you presume that I, in my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form, am merely another human primate. As Narcissus, you presume that I, in my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form, am just like you. That I, in my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form, am in the same state as you are, and involved in the same kind of activities as you are. Thus, as Narcissus, you presume that I, in my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form, am an ego who functions socially, organizationally, and merely ceremonially, or in a conventionally religious manner. However, all such presumptions are merely the signs of an egoically ignorant state in which you are not devotionally recognizing me. To make any such presumption is to be unaware that this divine avataric revelation body is transcendently spiritually transformed and in a profound condition utterly unlike that of others. This body is the unique means for the most perfect divine liberation of all who devotionally recognize me and devotionally respond to me. This body is the unique revelation of the perfect way to realize the divine conscious light. Thus, right practice of the only by me revealed and given radical reality of the heart cannot be based on any instruction manual list of behaviors and doctrines that you outwardly accommodate and use as a costume in which to mum and seem. Right practice of the only by me revealed and given radical reality of the heart can only be based on true devotional recognition of me and whole bodily devotional response to me. As you are heart attracted to me, to my bright divine state, avatarically appearing here in incarnate bodily human form, and altogether transcendently spiritually self-manifesting, then you have the basis for right practice of the radical reality way of the heart. If you are not yet manifesting such heart attractedness, then you do not yet have the basis for right practice of the radical reality way of the heart. If you are my formally practicing devotee, you must base your practice on the radical reality way of the heart, on devotional recognition of me, and therefore on being heart attracted to my bodily incarnate form, person. My divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form is not merely an image on which to focus. I am the one to whom you, as my devotee, are heart attracted and to whom you cannot help but be turned, and I am the very and intrinsically egoless person, state, and condition you must realize. Therefore, you must not merely concentrate on me, but you must surrender and give yourself to me, whole bodily and entirely, and in an utterly ego-forgetting manner. I have compared this heart-attracted devotional recognition of me to the experience of being in love. When you are in love, you cannot possibly forget the loved one. You are always preoccupied with thinking about that one. Thus, you are inherently turned to whatever attracts you. This is a metaphor relative to the nature of devotion to me. If you are heart attracted to me, bright heart attracted to my bright divine state of person, avatarically incarnate here, and uniquely shown through a transcendently spiritually transformed body, then you are inherently moved to serve me and to live in accordance with my divine avataric word of instruction. You will not do so otherwise. If devotional recognition of me is not the case, everything you do and say as an effort of would-be devotion will be mere double talk, mere seeming, mere playing of a strategy, mere going along with the mumming. The degree of your heart attractedness to me is the degree of your devotion to me. This is what I look for in my devotee. Are there signs of heart attractiveness to me? Is there a conversion of life? Is there the relinquishment of all preoccupation with worldliness and the habits and patterns of egoity? My true devotees live a right life, and my true devotees truly serve me. As a result, my true devotees are very soon entered into the transcendental spiritual dimension of the relationship with me. Therefore, if you are my devotee, you must not waste years quibbling over the necessary disciplines, whether or not to surrender to me, and whether or not to consistently fulfill my divine avataric word of instruction. Such weakness of purpose is not devotion. Adidam is a participatory way. Therefore, to be a full participant in the culture of Adidam, you must have fully established the foundation practice of the radical reality of the heart. You must not still be in or of the world. You must have turned away from worldliness, and you must have embraced the foundation discipline of the only by me revealed and given the radical reality way of the heart. When you have fully established the foundation practice I have given, then you are no longer merely a worldling. You are attracted to me rather than to the world. In that case, you are practicing the way I have given. You do not become a true devotee of mine simply through the ceremonial taking of a vow. When you take the vow as my formal second congregation devotee, you are beginning the process of becoming my devotee, but you are not yet fully established as a merely devotee of mine. Devotion to me is a practice that's merely a condition of being under a vow. Devotion to me is a practice, not merely a condition of being under a vow. You must fulfill the vow. Da.